I have had a couple of interactions with celebrities on X, formerly known as Twitter. I have famously got into a heated debate with James Gunn. Also, I got nickpicked by Minnie Driver, not to mention screenwriter Jay Olivia had issues with my take on Zack Snyder. I'm not saying this as a brag, I just think it's funny that me, who's not even a micro influencer, gets their attention for whatever reason. But the strangest one happened yet, and that is with Beau DeMayo, who has been the subject of a lot of YouTube videos recently. But my interaction I thought was kind of strange, especially a glaring admission that he makes. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you want to support me and the work that I do, head on over to my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where you can find all kinds of pop culture articles. Different subscription levels unlock different perks, so thank you in advance for doing that. And like I said, I'm not mentioning my interaction with any of these celebrities as a brag of any sort. I just think it is kind of funny that James Gunn took time out of his day. This was before he was at DC, just to argue with me. Jay Olivia defending Hack Snyder, Minnie Driver interacting with me over Batman Cape Crusader, and of course, I've had nothing but lovely interactions with Gina Carano. She is one of the classiest celebrities that I have ever spoken with online. Now, with Beau DeMayo, though, it's a little bit different. I am of the opinion that he should not be cited at all as an expert on anything Marvel Studios or Disney because I think he's just a disgruntled employee. Not to mention he's an OnlyFans model. You take that for what it is. But he always gets a ton of play on YouTube, even though he has given contradictory statements about his position on the X-Men and even the importance of the comics. He defended the Kathleen Kennedy of Marvel Studios, Victoria Alonso, and a whole host of other things, saying that he turned Magneto into a self-insert character, meaning that when Magneto was shown grooming an underage rogue in X-Men 97, that was him. It's all bizarre, but people still take him because of the rage bait he delivers on Disney. So I needled him a little bit, and I've done it before, and I even spoke with Jester Bell on her 60K live stream about it, and I said people should not take him seriously. Two things can be true at once. Disney and Marvel Studios have seriously mismanaged the MCU, and they should regret it. Two, Beau DeMayo is just a disgruntled employee and he's not a reliable source. So, this all led up to my interaction with him. This is how it got started. Okay, so to start, he posted this long complaint about the Hulk and the Punisher being in Spider Man. Beau DeMayo writes, "It's so strange to see Marvel Studios repeating the same mistake their publishing division did in the 1990s, pushing more crossovers and events that drown any actual character or story. Like, why not just trust that Spider-Man can hold his own movie without shoehorning Hulk or Punisher into his story? And then Doomsday? Like, less is almost more, especially when Spidey has a massive rogues gallery that remains unexplored. After Endgame, they should have pivoted back to very contained, budget-minded solo films with no crossover, exploring how each character dealt with the aftermath of the blip. Instead, each movie has continued to burden us with more crossovers that try and fail to outdo Endgame." Okay, there's nothing wrong with the premise that Marvel should focus on more mid-budget. There's just one problem. Disney's deal with Sony requires that MCU Spider-Man films be crossover films. That's why Iron Man was in Spider-Man Homecoming. That's why Nick Fury was in Far From Home. That's why Doctor Strange was in No Way Home. It's a requirement of the deal. So I actually think Marvel picked two good characters to cross over with Spider-Man: the Punisher, who Spider-Man has a long storied history with, and the Hulk, which Spider-Man also has a long storied history with. They're kind of frenemies, and in fact, Spider-Man's first crossover with the Avengers dealt with the Hulk. More on that later. So I decided to be a little pithy, and I did tweet out his remarks. No one should listen to OF model Beau. He claims to be an insider, but here he is showing no knowledge of the deal Disney has with Sony. MCU Spidey has to team up to appear in an MCU movie. It's a rights issue. Okay, so apparently he took issue with me calling him an OnlyFans model, even though he is. And in fact, his big exclusive was posted to OnlyFans. And yes, I have a problem with OnlyFans. It's just an adult website for a bunch of simps to get together with some online models. Anyway, he replies, OF model, that's all I need to know about you. LOL. He forgot the period there. And I've explained elsewhere why that deal doesn't apply. They already have Punisher. Why Hulk? Okay, well, you should still say it there, Beau. That's how this argument works. And honestly, your explanations have been dumb and contradictory. But anyway, so he took issue with me calling an OnlyFans. So he says, I love when people of faith get on their high horse and throw about shame to make a point and attack someone's character. LOL. And so I reply, I love it when disgruntled employees give conflicting information and rage bait people by pretending they have insider info. So I thought that was kind of funny. I always think it's interesting because I'll say a person's occupation, something that's known about them, but then they're like, why are you shaming me? Or why are you insulting me? I'm like, wait, if you're not ashamed by it, why do you think it's an insult? Celebrities in their weird insular thinking. So anyway, I responded directly to his why Hulk question, and I said, you have that backwards. The deal does apply, as you are forced to admit. They already have Punisher. Why Hulk? Also, do you read comics? Hulk and Spidey team up a lot. In fact, the first time Spidey crossed over with the Avengers, it was to capture the Hulk. This is where it gets really interesting. So then he says, dude, go away. Do I read comics? Watch X-Men 97 and get back to me. Oh, you mean that show where you made Magneto a predator and said he was a self-insert character of you? Not to mention its rushed aspect, and you have Professor X literally lecturing aliens in a classroom on the astral plane. Yeah, spare me. So anyway, I replied, I did watch it. I reviewed it. That doesn't answer my question. In fact, it would make me doubt you further considering the ridiculous change you made to an iconic series. And then I linked my Substack because why not? Now, this is where it gets really, really revealing. Pun intended. Ha 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 ha, you're pathetic, dude. Forgot the comma there. I have zero interest hearing what someone like you thinks of the shows. The results speak for themselves, although people like you approach reality as a multiple choice question. Bye. And then I replied, I know you Hollywood elites hate fans like me. It's cool. Now remember, this is a guy that YouTubers are citing as some sort of expert on Disney now. Keep that in mind. But he just revealed something. He hates the fans just as much as the execs at Disney and Marvel. So I reposted this on X and I said, again, Beau is not a serious person. He is just a disgruntled ex-Disney employee who made X-Men 97. Here he is declaring he has zero interest in what an X-Men fan thinks of his show. This is the mindset of the Hollywood elite. Fans aren't even worth it to them. There it is. That was my big conversation with Beau DeMayo. He is not a good source of information. He should not be taken seriously, and it is clear he is just a disgruntled employee. Like I said at the outset, two things can be true at the same time. One, Disney has really mishandled the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the animation studio, and a whole host of other projects. Two, Beau DeMayo is an unserious person who is just angry he got fired. And also, just a note to all of you media outlets that are taking him seriously, keep in mind, he is not the creator of X-Men 97. He is the showrunner. He took a series that more inspired and creative people made, and then he turned it into what it is, the Magneto show. So yeah, stop calling him the creator of X-Men 97. It's a continuation. It's not a totally new show. But also, I want to thank Beau DeMayo on one thing. He did expose exactly what we all said. he hates the fans just as much as Kevin Feige, as the writer's room of She-Hulk, as the producers of the MCU and Star Wars. He just exposed that mindset. We've been saying it for years now, and he just confirmed it. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment to what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my new Substack, studiojakemedia.substack.com. The link is in the description of the video. You can subscribe at different tiers that unlock different perks, including being able to choose the topic for the website as well as here on the vidcast. It's pretty cool. Thank you to everyone who does subscribe. At that same website, there's a conveniently titled Buy My Books section. You can check them out. I've got links all over the place, but they're all available on Amazon.com. I hope you purchase them. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.